Sofia, welcome to Honestly Kidding. I'm so excited for today's episode because I have some of my best friends here today to talk about the juicy subjects of relationships. We've all been there, we've all done that, and now we're gonna get to my girls. So here's Sofia, Flo, Florence, and Arlety.
So I am in the insurance industry. It's something I passionately love, even though many people find boring, but it is not, I promise. Once you learn a little bit about it, it gets really interesting. I am a Miami native. I've lived here all my life. I love Miami. There's always something to do. It's part of who I am. And I'm excited to be here with one of my bestest friends, Cynthia.
She's basically telling you to come visit.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. If it's to bring people to Miami to be tourists, yes. But to live here, oh my God, traffic is already insane as it is. I don't know.
You wouldn't live here?
You live here? No, I'm telling about bringing more people here. You gotta triple think that
so
because
people stay home.
Traffic is really crazy right now. But picking off of where Arlety left off, I am also a Miami native, but I was born in El Salvador. I migrated to this beautiful city, Miami, when I was 4 years old, and I've been living here my whole life. I don't think I'll be moving from Miami anytime soon, but I love it. My name is Florence, but you guys can all call me Flo, which is what my best friends call me. I am a model. I've been modeling for the past 13 years, which is a long time, but I love it. And I also work in a homeless shelter.
Oh. If anybody wants to look up Flo, it's at MissFlorenceJustel.com. She's ready to tell you her life story. No, but I love you. I'm so excited to have you guys here. And now, last but not least,
hello, everybody. So my name is Sofia.
Hi, Sofia.
I am not a Miami native, so bear with me with my English. But I was born in Cuba and lived in Europe my whole life until I was 17 and moved here to continue with my studies. My background is in architecture and construction, so that's what I do. I'm a very serious person.
Are you really? I don't believe that.
But then I do a little bit of pageants and modeling, and that's why I'm like this funny girl.
she's also very talented, right, Sofia?
Yes, I have many talents. So, but we'll cut to that at the end.
Actually, I want to touch on that because for all of you who feel talentless in the world, Sofia is actually a perfect example of
check it
not
out
feeling
on my
bad for
social
you.
media. No, definitely. And then I have here different professors. We have piano, and then we have a singing professor. But yeah, talent is not my thing.
It's in there. She just hasn't discovered it yet.
She checks the optional box.
I try, but optional.
Well, let's get into the topic. And I'm going to start with a question that I think, I don't know, we've all been there. We've all been on those either terrible dates or we've all been hit on some way or the other. But I want to start with, what has been your worst ever pickup line a guy has ever told you guys? And how did it make you feel? Do you guys have any that come to mind?
Pickup line?
Maybe not the worst, but I really like this one.
Okay.
I felt like it was a smart one.
Yeah, I have
it
a crazy
one. It was like,
one.
are you a bank loan? Because I'm interested. And I loved it. I can't think of a really bad one, but I love that one.
Wow. For sure. He literally told you you're interested?
He said he was interested. Interest.
Oh, okay.
Mine is crazy.
I loved it.
What did you say to him?
I was just like, ooh, he wasn't too good looking. So I was like,
okay. So
I'm not interested. Thank you.
So, man, if you're bad looking, you got no choice with my girls. If your pickup line is horrible, even good, whether it's good or bad, you're bad looking, you got no chance.
Yeah, honestly, I think if the pickup line is decent or not decent, creative enough to catch my attention, I would at least join the conversation.
Even if the guy is not attractive and you don't find him attractive?
He was creative. That's why I said I would join the conversation, but it just depends.
That doesn't mean
wasting your time. Take me out on a date. No, but you earned enough of my respect for a conversation because you were creative.
So nice.
She's so nice.
You guys, if you want to talk to somebody for the day, reach out to Flo.
No, please don't do it.
She's taking requests.
I'm dead.
She's taking requests.
I know. I have a crazy thing, and honestly, it was like I didn't know if they compare me to a vegetable vegetable or why was that? But and it definitely caught my attention because they were like, "Oh, you look as good as a cucumber," and I was like,
A cucumber.
Cucumber, I know, right? Weird.
another
Why
one, a
not a
vegetable?
mango or like pineapple, something like, But it was
cucumber?
a cucumber girl that I look as good as a cucumber. I don't know what that means. That was on Instagram. The screenshot should be on my phone somewhere, but babe, this was years ago. they did not confirm it to a vegetable anytime soon. Yeah.
That is
so
crazy. I had this encounter once where I was at Dave and Buster's and like a guy came up to me and he was like, "Here's a $10 bill. You're worth $10." And I was like,
Excuse me?
I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And he goes, "Well, I'm broke, but this is the best I can do."
Oh my God, that's not a good way to start.
I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But anyway, I opened the $10 bill. I took it and it was his number on it. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I
This
just
was
used
sleazy.
it. I just used it to like keep drinking and have fun. I
Did
never
you
called
wrote
him.
down the number before
No.
Flo,
It was
went
on
to
the
the
bill that I
waiter.
gave for
What?
drinks.
This is very creative. So would
Oh,
you
God,
would
no.
you talk to him?
No, that I would not. I think the only time I've gotten some guy's number written on something, I think I was about to step into freshman year of high school. We were in Burger King. I'm never going to forget this moment because I used to volunteer in like summer camps, right? And I was about to step, like, it was my freshman year of high school, or going into freshman year of high school. We were in Burger King, which was like down 2 blocks from the camp, and we went with a small group. One of my really good guy friends at that time, he played basketball, and he knew one of the guys that was there. And the cute guy that was in Burger King, my friend's friend, we had made some cute little eye contact, but that was it. But my friend noticed, and to mess with me, he's like, "Oh, she wants your number." But I never told him anything, and that got me really embarrassed because I've never been, to this day, I'm still not the type of girl that will go out of my way to like, sup, I want your number. You know what I mean? That's not who I am. I'm very reserved, and I prefer to be the one.
You do. I can vouch for her that out of us four, she is the most reserved, the most put
too.
together in terms of like relationships. No. Espérate. In comparison to Flo,
Okay, no, yeah, she
if we
wins.
go into ways of what do you rather? If we play Would You Rather, which we're not, but if we play, should we? I don't know. No, maybe at the end we'll throw in like a quick Would You Rather. But if we go on that game, I think Flo definitely has really
Flo's glass would be the fullest.
Yeah.
So we can say that.
100%. But I applaud her because she holds her values and her morals. We all do, but she's held hers for many years, and that's something that you respect. And it's not something that today in society that we find every day. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I applaud you for that.
Thanks, boo-boo.
Now moving on, ladies, how do you think? And this is something because I feel like we live in a society where like I think men see us as, or can, I don't want to say all men, but I do think that we can be, they portray us as perhaps, oh, we're dramatic or we're complicated. And we've heard this countless times. But how do you really think men see us in their eyes? Like, do you really think they see us that way? Or do you feel like in your own relationships or in your own experiences that maybe is not true across the board? And what do we think of them?
Okay, so what do we think of men and what do we think men think of us?
Yeah.
Like, do you think you're dramatic?
Oh, yeah. 1,000%.
I think we're just smarter, and I feel like that's why.
Yeah, they don't get it.
More dramatic.
Emotional intelligence, and it's not to say all men, right? But I think emotional intelligence is something that most men, I want to say, are not compatible with women.
Preach.
Okay.
Yes.
Right? Because
Emotional intelligence.
emotional intelligence.
Right
I'm speaking from experience, just because I've seen, like, okay, logistically speaking, wow, yes, very intelligent. Again, not most men, not all men, but most men from what I have seen, right? And I'm very observant. But when it comes to that emotional intelligence, some guys are like, okay, I understand you're a woman. This is why you feel that way. And I'm like, it's not just that I'm a woman. It's that this is what you're saying. And sometimes it's not what you're saying. It's how you're saying it, right? So I'm not trying to be over dramatic. And I feel like sometimes we also try to subsidize or minimize how we feel by saying, hey, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but because sometimes guys are just gonna think that we're being dramatic just for bringing it to their attention.
No, I think 100% communication is important. And based on what you're saying, it's just like, in my experience, I feel when you're honest and you say it like it is from A to Z, like you have to literally just say it. This is how you had to handle me. This is what I like. This is what I dislike. Like, it has to be black or white.
Right.
Don't leave any gray areas, because that's when they'll get confused. I feel like it's easier when you're just straight up and and you're like, this is what I like. If I'm mad, here's what you should do. Stay away. Don't approach me, And I think for some men, from my own relationship as well, like, he tells me, like, if I'm mad, let me be, for X amount of time, and then come to me. Because if not, then we're just going to stay there and continue and continue and continue. So what you say is like, I agree with Flo where she says, like, you have to say it like it is at times.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that, you see, I said at the beginning, Spanglish, al hombre hace a la mujer y la mujer hace al hombre. And I think that when you start, a relationship with someone, like, you have to think like you're starting from zero. That person has no idea how you run relationships, and you have no idea what he expects from you and what you expect from him. To me, and it's funny because I've been giving a lot of advices lately to my circle of friends that are dating, and I heard that dating got really hard after COVID. But yeah, we need to cover that topic. But I think that it's more like you guys said. Like, I agree 100%. I'm someone that if I know that I'm wrong, I'm willing to like make it better for you just because I love you and I feel comfortable with you. But also, like you said, like, I feel like we're like all the time like excusing ourselves and like, oh, you know what, like, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but this really hurt me. Why do we have to like,
Yeah, I feel like
hide how we feel.
It's kind of like,
I think a lot of men don't like to talk about their feelings, and they just avoid talking about their feelings, and I feel like that just makes more of like a barrier. Depending on what the situation is, it creates more of a barrier between you guys. And I don't know, I definitely think men should open up more. Not all men, of course, but they should open up more, because it would definitely help the communication, I would say.
Yeah, it makes it easier if you communicate than
they
if
don't like to be emotional in front of you.
A lot of people aren't confrontational. They're not, they rather wait till later. But I think sometimes you have to, even if you don't want to, and your partner is that type of person that wants to talk it out or hash it out in the moment, then you might need to be that person to, be like, hey, let me put my ego aside. Because ego is a huge thing in relationships.
It is.
One of us usually has to put that ego aside. But who's it going to be? Is it going to be the man or is it going to be the woman? I think it varies across relationships because I'm stubborn and hard-headed. I'm going to admit 100%. Sometimes my ego's in the way and I don't want to budge. And I'm the one who's like, hey, no. On my end, Joseph tends to be a little bit more of the one that's like, hey,
I to me it's the other way around. I think now that I think of I'm the one, and I'm very stubborn, and I'm very like, like, if I think it's this way, it's this way. But with my boyfriend, because he's exactly like that times 1,100, I think I
not
have
even
to.
10.
Eduardo, do not
I was not done. I was not
Eduardo.
done. Eduardo, if you're watching this, I love you, baby. I want to marry you. However,
Forgive me.
You're like this. So I realized that, if I really want this to work at the beginning, and sometimes still, I'm the one that always have to like, all right, we'll talk about it later, because he would just stay in the same thing, and it's just like we're not going
5
anywhere.
hours later, and you're
So
not
to
reaching
me,
that
I'm the
point.
one that, okay, let me just take a shower, even if I don't have to. I just took a shower 2 minutes ago, but let me just take a shower, and then we'll talk later. So I'm the one doing that. Lately has been the one, because I always tell him like, hello, I'm gonna get tired one day, because that's another thing. Like, if you're the one always trying,
You do get tired.
at the end of the day, even if you don't want to.
It's a give and take.
Yeah.
It's a give and take 100%. I agree with you.
I think it's also not that men don't like to open up about their feelings. I think it's just a lot of them don't know how. So us as women, we also have to be understanding in that point and say, hey, love, like, I'm here to hear you out, this is how I feel. How does this make you feel? Sometimes by just asking the right questions or the wrong questions, really, you can figure out.
If I'm on lion mode, girl, doesn't
Oh,
but
no, of course.
You asked
That's
the
why
wrong
you need to take a little minute. You're not just going back
Yeah.
to how you react.
you
right?
But I
point.
think she's right. You know, boys don't cry. Like I leave.
There's that stereotype.
Oh,
it's,
it's
that's a huge stereotype.
It is, and I'm always saying that to my nephew. Boys don't cry. Get over it. So now that you say it, like I get it. I think, but you have to. I don't know. It's just I guess stereotypes. I gotta think about this tonight. Okay.
They're gonna go. No, we're gonna go to
somewhere.
bed tonight, and we're gonna go into like our dating
But it's true.
history.
We're always telling them like boys don't cry. So you're not a girl. You're not a little girl. So
I think there's a lot of
Get
pressure
over
not
it.
to cry for men. I'm sure.
Yeah,
you know,
I think
'cause
so.
as a girl,
I
we're
think
just
it's
like,
great to
we
be
start bawling,
vulnerable.
but it's not the same.
I
for
think
them.
it's great to be vulnerable, and I feel like now society is becoming more of a place where you can be vulnerable versus like back, a couple of years back where I feel like that was more enforced. I feel like now it's okay to open up and like be vulnerable. Like men, we want you to be vulnerable.
Yes. No, and be vulnerable with who makes you feel safe
Yeah.
too. It's not just like you just met this girl and you're gonna open up to her and you're gonna be vulnerable with her because she's pretty. No, like you build that. That's something that you earn too. You're not just gonna open up to everyone, no matter how nice you are.
But I'll stay, drama queen. Please don't cry more than me. Well, let's just keep the balance. It's very important.
Again, be vulnerable with who
Yeah,
makes you
it
feel
gets-
safe.
It gets to a point where we need to keep it, level.
Balance,
If you're always crying and complaining, no, it can't
Exactly.
be.
I'm still the drama queen. I need to
Let's just make it clear.
Oh my god! Speaking about that, Sophia brought up something that just brought me back, like dating apps.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh,
Oof. Well,
but I've never been in a dating app, and
I was on Bumble like before when I was single, and I was
that's
the
No,
only
but
dating
like,
app.
no. But honestly,
she was at Bumble.
When I was single, I was on Bumble, and I never went on the dates period just because
'cause
I
for
felt like
Bumble-
I was gonna be, I don't know, like I was worried I was gonna be like,
to me, it was
kidnapped or stalked or something.
Yeah, that's
And then
quite
I had a
weird.
girlfriend of mine who she turned it into like a hobby. She would plan 4 dates, within the same block
Wow,
of
she's
restaurants.
smart.
Oh yeah, I know.
Back to back,
I
and
know
she was
people
like,
like
"I
that.
just got 4 free dinners in like a period of 4 hours." I was like, "Girl, you just outsmarted the dating game. I want to be you." How
Wow, I gotta take notes.
I know, girl. I know.
She would plan it like every 2 hours apart. She'd be like, "Oh, sorry, gotta go. I have my cousin's wedding rehearsal, and then she'd call me to."
Yeah,
And
I
it was
know a
like 2
girl
or
like
3
that.
dinners back.
Savage.
I was like, "You outsmarted dating."
Yeah, I know
dating
a girl
apps.
like that though, and she thinks that you should always have free lunch and free dinner. And I'm like, girl, how can you do that? How can you handle that? That's a lot of effort.
that is a lot
And then
of
it's
effort.
funny because dating, not that I'm in dating, just making sure that everybody knows that. But I have a friend now at work. And work friends, like you become really close to those people because you see them 24/7. So she's into dating. And I'm always like, you're so complicated. You're so dramatic. And you're like stressing this guy out. And I'm not even the guy. You're stressing me out. So, chill. And then she told me the other day that dating after COVID, it was like, it changed.
Harder.
And I was like, why? Well, this was what she said. Well, a lot of people got like trapped with someone that they didn't know they were like,
So a
they
lot of
didn't love like
relationships-
that. Or
yeah, a
like,
lot of relationships
they
became
realized that,
broken.
oh, wow, 5 years with you and, ooh.
Right.
So
or the other way around. And they
Yeah.
were,
Or
"Oh my
the
God,
other way
I
around.
want to be forever
it's
with
insane.
you.
I've never been in a dating app. I don't want to be, but I feel like to me, I'm more like, okay, I can only be getting to know one person at a time. That whole lunch and dinner, I would definitely
That's
be
too
the
much
one
work.
telling Juan Pedro and Pedro Juan. 'cause-
That is a talent.
What's your name
Straight
again?
up.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, you're not
That is a
my
talent.
brother.
I'm sorry. That is
what
a
my
talent.
calendar
Me
said.
neither. I used Bumble, never responded to, like, if I would respond, I would respond, but I never went through with the dates.
Well, does Instagram count? Now that I'm thinking.
I mean, I feel like Instagram,
Because people just
I think
slide
it
into
counts
DMs.
because
And
I mean
you
it's
can
not really
hit up
like
on
I mean,
But
it's
you
an
have a
app, but it's
profile
not a
and you're
dating app. But
talking
yeah,
to someone,
technically,
I
they
guess
have,
it's like-
listen, they have dating apps nowadays for everything you can imagine.
Oh, I know.
Let's just put it there on the table. So if you want to have fun, just go on the app store, and
Google
I'm sure
it.
you'll find something.
Oh my god.
Google
But-
it.
God, that's just so
And
much
to each
work.
their own. Everybody deserves to have their fun, you know? Whatever you do with your life, it's your life and nobody should tell you otherwise. But something
I
I
agree,
find,
but at the same time, and now this is just going into what I believe on that aspect, is just that you don't play with the heart. Because then what if someone's really trying to meet someone, because it exists,
Right.
and then you have Juan Pedro Juan that's getting confused,
But
with,
then,
you know, and
Getting
then,
their hearts broken.
yeah, but they really thought that, oh, this girl has potential,
No.
like she's pretty, I want to get to know her, but this girl's only playing them, or vice versa.
but I have your
Beware
into
the
it. That's
dating
why
vice versa.
if you're going on a date on the same day with Juan Pedro Juan and I don't know Tito and Tico, you just tell them, oh, guys, I'm just here for a good time. You know, and you're
Not a long
honest with
time.
them. You just tell them, I'm not looking for a serious relationship. I'm honestly just looking for like a good time. It's what we said. You have to be honest. If at the moment you don't want anything serious, then just be honest.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes guys are not honest at all.
Yes.
True.
It's
Been
just
there.
like,
Guys, this is for you guys as well. You have got to be honest. If what you want is a good time, then just be honest with the girl. Because then, yeah, you don't want to waste her
Maybe
time.
she wants the
Yeah,
same
they
thing.
don't.
So
They
You
just
don't want a girl to waste your time. So
Yeah.
don't waste our time.
Well, for them, it's more not like a waste of time. It's like they don't really like flow set. It's like, I don't know. I feel like people think that we gotta live like there's no tomorrow. And hello, tomorrow will be there. So, I mean, you don't have to be dating 5 girls at the same time, playing with their feelings, because we see that every day. So it's like,
Yeah, that part's kind of
yeah.
messed up. Unless, you know, like I said, if you tell the girl and she's okay with it, then that's a completely different thing.
but even then, you can. I think you can tell someone, and they'll say, "Yeah, I'm okay with it," because they like you, and they'll just want to have you around. And then in the long run, you're just getting hurt.
Ooh, but then we gotta
And
tell that
you're-
girl.
Yeah, and what you're gonna
self-love
keep
is a real
reminding-
thing because
It is
you
a real
shouldn't.
thing. But also, if you're with someone, I don't know. That's just how.
But
I
that's
see
where
it.
emotional intelligence comes in. If somebody
Right.
is telling you flat out, I don't want anything, and they're completely honest with you,
you have to
then don't
acknowledge
put yourself in that
Right.
situation.
Exactly.
Right.
Because you are the one, you know, responsible for your actions and what you decide. So if you are allowing this, but that person's being completely honest with you, then yeah, it's a lot easier to blame other people for your own mistakes.
You're accepting it.
Yeah,
So,
you're accepting
yeah.
it. Sometimes it's easier to blame other people for their mistakes, whether it's a guy or a girl. But if you yourself are putting yourself in that situation, then is it really just them? No. You
Right,
got to
'cause
think
you
it
are
through
aware.
as well, you know? Because if I don't want that, then why am I going to go looking for it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just remember the movie Friends with Benefits with Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, right?
Yeah.
Bro, and they said, yeah, it's just this. But then they both fell in love with each other. And then, un enredo ahí, you know? So
But
I'm
that
just,
was fun.
I see,
They had a lot of fun.
They had a lot of
that
fun,
was
but
a
in the
movie
process,
too.
they got
Yeah, that's a
hurt.
movie.
It was a
In
movie.
real
It
life,
was in
it's
real
not like
life.
that.
In real life, I think you get more hurt because there's chances are that one person does end up falling in love with the
It's
other
true.
one.
It does
You know,
happen.
so I don't know. Guys.
I'm gonna be
I
your-
personally will always recommend to take your time to meet someone. Don't play with someone because you don't mess with the heart. That's how I see it.
I'm gonna be devil's advocate here and completely say that I have met people who have the time of their lives and they are able to do it for years and years, and that is just how they are. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know,
No, it's just a lifestyle.
it's just a
Yeah.
lifestyle. For a lot of people, they prefer it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that because at the end of the day, for me, the way I see it, like me personally, I'm a relationship person. I definitely have my morals and my values. I'm not that person that plays with people. I am not like that. But on the other side of the coin, I have met people who are very open-minded and they know what they want and they're like that. And they've been in those kinds of, you know, situations and it works for them. And nobody falls for anybody. So both things happen. You get what I'm saying? Like in today's society, now more than ever, that we're so open-minded in a lot of things and so many things, you know, we're leaving behind a lot of things that in the past were seen as like,
Yeah.
hey, maybe, you know, if it wasn't traditional, it wasn't okay. I feel like now we're on the side where like being less judgmental should be welcomed, you know, just because we don't know everybody's situation.
Agreed. I did have a friends with benefits once. And that did happen, what you said. It was just fun for me. It was fun for both of us. And then they started getting feelings and they're like, let's go on a date. And I was like, oh, a date? No, I don't think so. But we did. We went on this date. And then after they did, I was like, no, it's not gonna happen, and that's it. But then they wrote me like a paragraph about how they were in love, and I'm like, no, please, like this is it, this is
But
done.
you see,
No,
you were
thank
honest.
Yeah, but we were honest from the beginning. Like that was what it was, and then I was like, look, it's not gonna happen.
There
'Cause
are
I don't want to lead you on for no
situations,
reason.
yeah.
That's
There
the
are
worst.
situations
That's the
like
worst
Flo said.
situation.
where
The worst situation.
people do one person inevitably will fall for somebody, but at the end of the day, it's it's up to you to be like, hey, look, let me not step on that.
And taking it back
Let me not step on that.
taking it back to the apps. I did meet someone on Hinge, and I was with them for about like 2 years.
Oh,
so
wow.
I don't want to knock it because I feel out of all the apps, Hinge is the most like decent one. Okay, like the Bumble and all these other ones, like no, do not go there. But I tried Hinge because I heard other girls who had met their boyfriends, and I was like, okay. And I mean, it went well for 2 years, and then it didn't go well after that. But I don't knock it yet. I just, now that I am single, I don't think I would go back on an app. I want it to happen naturally.
I've even
I'm
had
definitely on that vibe right now. I want
friends using Bumble Friends, and I don't know what it was. I went to a party once, and a couple months back, and I met this girl, and I was like, oh my God, who are you? What are you doing here? And she's like, I was like, how did you meet my friend? It was a mutual friend. She goes, Bumble Friend. And I was like, oh, okay, so
Friend.
people
Bumble
actually,
Friend and Bumble Business.
I was like,
girl.
people
Business.
actually use it. There's a business,
they still have
a
that?
Bumble business.
Well,
Yo,
this was like 20.
What is the Bumble business for?
Bumble business, I think.
Business.
Yeah.
That sounds
Bruh. Are you
what
serious?
kind of business, Flo?
No, like they had dating, friendship, and business.
They do.
Yes,
But business
or
for
they
what?
did when
I know they had
no,
Bumble
like
Friend.
entrepreneurial, like if you
Oh, really?
like
Are
when-
you on it?
Oh, girl, this was years ago, so I don't know if they still
Maybe it
have
doesn't
that.
I don't think it
Maybe not a lot
expired.
of people were doing business.
Bumble really wants to be.
Maybe it was other business.
Bumble wants to be the #1 dating app, I guess, out there.
I mean, that's what I said. Oh, I had Bumble, and I met a guy on Bumble. Bro, I think I was I like 19? I think I was like 19. I was a youngin'. I mean, we're still pretty young, you know what I mean? I'm 24, but it was years ago. And I was like, do I want to meet someone? I don't know. It was one of those moments, right? And then I created the profile, and you know how you create it, sometimes you forget about it, and you go back and like, oh crap, I forgot I had
you're
this.
still there. A lot of
And
people.
then I thought
That's so
because
funny.
I
think mine is
deleted the
still
app,
there, to be honest.
because I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time. I don't have time for this. And then I thought by deleting I don't even know what I don't know what happened, but I thought that by deleting the app, I had deleted my account.
the profile. No, girl.
And my friend sends me a screenshot, and they're like, oh, is that you? And I was like, I
You're like, oh shoot, that is
I
me.
was like, oh crap. So then I downloaded it again. I was like, wait, how do you delete this? And then I saw messages, and I saw people that I had seen in high school, but we never really talked. And I was like, oh, this is interesting.
my
But
God.
when I downloaded, I did use it for Bumble Friends, because I was in a point where I was in college and I had my group, but I wanted to meet like-minded people. Like I wanted to, and I'm very friendly, very outgoing.
Oh yes.
For those who know me, for those who don't know, you know. So I'm always looking to expand my group of friends, but friends is not just someone that you can have a conversation with.
No.
Friends is someone that you can connect with, that you see yourself being compatible with, that you can count on, that you can invite to a podcast and just have, different opinions about things, but you still love each other and respect each other. So that was like the vibe that I was in, I think my first year of college. And I made some friends. I still have them on social, or I made acquaintances, because we're not friends, honestly. My real friends have been throughout life's journey that have came along the way. But that doesn't mean that supporting another girl on social media estaba de menos. So I still have those girls on social media, and we comment and we like, and sometimes we're like, oh my God, I totally forgot I met her through Bumble Friends, But yeah, so
How did we meet again?
Wow.
Bumble.
Oh, wow. I had no idea that was a thing.
I didn't know that
Like,
existed.
yeah,
No.
apparently it does. I mean, those are things that excite. I think it's cool. I think I think it's cool for you to meet people in different ways.
Yeah.
I have a friend actually who, when he travels alone, he uses different dating apps to set up dates around, dates around different
Dating around
countries,
the world. I love it.
dating around the world.
eat, pray, love.
I have an
International.
obsession with security and if I'm we just experienced a little security issue before coming here trying to get Cynthia balloons, but but it was a whole mission. But I'm always very aware of my surroundings. I just I don't know. I think it
That's
was
good because I'm
As a
not.
girl, you have to be.
It was
always.
the
I
way
feel like I'm not. I'm always like,
amiga la despistada.
But I guess,
Always
yeah,
a lot of
amiga la
not me. I would always be like, if it's a parking lot and it's late at night, I'll be looking around like,
Oh, yeah.
okay,
I
lock the car. car,
No,
like,
my
you know, open the car
God.
before you get in. No, you open it when you're closed. So it's like a whole thing for me. But I think that's why I've never been in one of those apps, because I felt like, how
Well,
safe could that
Give you anxiety, I think. Way too much
It does give you anxiety. You gotta
no
send
way,
your
I'm gonna
friends.
get kidnapped.
Listen. Nowadays, you want to date with a stranger or whatever you decide to do. Send your friends your location. I don't know what it is. Send it to like 3 people. I make sure, like back then, if I did do that, I'd send my friends my location. I'd be like, hey,
You have to do your research. Like, if they have a phone number, Google it. If they have an Instagram, you know, everything.
You gotta go PI
It's like FBI level.
Yeah,
You have to
PI.
do
We're really good at that, though.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, let me tell you.
Let's just not get into it, because remember, we're not dramatics. we're not in for drama.
But I think we have one thing in common. We're all Latina and we're women. And I love every culture because
Latinas-
I've gone to so many different countries
Really
thanks
bad
to modeling and life, really. But girl, let me tell you, as a Latina woman, I'm not crazy and I'm not psychotic, and my friends can vouch for me. But I surprise myself by the amount of information that I can find without having any information.
I think that's being a woman.
It's insane.
It's part. It's like in our blood.
Oh, girl, let me tell
If
you.
you're watching and you know me, you know how crazy I can get. I'm like,
You are 3 steps ahead.
I'll find out who your mom's sister's cousin is.
Oh my
I
god.
don't even know what I'm doing in construction.
Construction is a waste of time. You have got to join
Like a little PI.
Yes.
I think that we've always, we're gonna go into like heartbreaks and stuff, but I think that we've all been crazy and dramatic.
I mean, yeah.
I've been. You know me.
What is the craziest thing you have done?
I can't tell you that here.
I don't like
I'll go.
a hair dryer or
No, crazier than that. Yeah.
how crazy? I wouldn't know. You got to say it.
Okay. I promise I'm not going to jail. So, there was this thing.
We don't have to name who he is.
No, I'm not. Oh, I'm not definitely, but you would know. There is like this crazy thing moment of my life where my ego and self-love and everything was completely destroyed.
Shattered.
So dramatic, but you know, reality.
happens.
And I, you know, the way I found out certain things, I decided to just grab a lighter and papers, and I was just burning them inside of a car, and the guy was throwing them out of the window. Makes sense. That's the craziest thing I've ever done. So yeah, it can get really crazy.
I'm like the silence.
That was out of like, you know, like that's the craziest thing. I've never thrown anything or got into like a physical fight with a man.
I'm
No.
You never do that because you're gonna lose.
people get mad at me because I'm so calm and composed. So if I'm like they'll be yelling at me or whatever, and I'm just like, I just stay there. So it gets to me the more mad.
I don't do that yet. I agree.
Because-
Like, if
because
we're
I'm
fighting,
just
how do
there
you
like-
yell?
I'm just
We're
there
gonna
like-
talk.
I'm just there like, what I can't, like, no me sale, you know?
Yeah.
To be like, to that level of crazy, which,
I've
feel
been
like
to
it
that
would be
level.
fun, maybe.
No, it was really bad. It was a moment really, really bad.
So he probably deserved it.
Oh, he did, definitely. But I mean, it was
It was
kind of
like-
vague. He was right there at the door, the window. He was just like, you know.
How do you feel about guys sliding into our DMs? Like, guys sliding into DMs, I don't know. I feel like
I mean, as girls, you know, we ignore most of them. I would think about
it is, but if you know, like, especially if you know the girl's in a relationship,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
or like,
Like
if
that.
you are in a relationship and then I know you're messaging me, because that, like, it happens, like, would you, like, I don't know, you want to tell the girl, but at the same time, you're like, let me not get involved, you know, but it's just like, that has never happened.
I would never tell the girl. I don't know. I don't know if I would. Like,
You don't want to get in that drama.
I wouldn't want to get into it. And it's just a message. I just be like, ignore it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer. I'm not gonna acknowledge it. Like, that's me doing my part.
It's like a one-time thing. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and I won't think much of it. If I begin to see that it's talking, if they have a partner, right? If he has a partner, if I begin to see that it's something that continuously happens, then yeah, I'll have to tell the girl because I'll feel like the moral obligation to. It has never happened to me. I pray it doesn't happen to me. And another thing is, if the guy sees that you are in a relationship and he is sliding into your DMs, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like that's just a secret. And I'm
And
not.
I think as women, at the end of the day, I think you have to stand up for other women and respect that, because you wouldn't want them to you know, that same thing. So, but that's how you hold yourself and your standards or whatever, you know. But I, for instance, I would never. I don't respond. I just completely ignore. I'm very honest and in touch with like with my morals, my values, and how I see that. But this month has been crazy. I've heard some crazy things that I told Arlety on the phone. There was a story about an acquaintance of mine who she found out that her husband of like 2 or 3 years had been cheating on her. He cheated on her the day of her wedding with her bridesmaid. 3 years after, she finds us out with a trip planned, about to be there. That. So you see,
With a bridesmaid.
They
What the
were
hell?
Get crazy
It was a
sometimes.
bridesmaid. A bridesmaid who was her friend.
It's just insane.
So we get to a point
who's
where
more
it's
messed up, him or her?
Cheating on her, like
she doesn't know. She doesn't know. But it's guaranteed. She found out that he cheated on her on her wedding day.
Wedding day, though. Come on.
Right? So chances are, if he cheated on you on your wedding day, he's cheated on you again. Like, do not stay with this person.
I feel better now.
You feel that's
the fake person look.
You
I
weren't
mean,
married.
who's more at fault, him or her? Both. I mean, the bridesmaid and the husband.
No, they're both.
Oh no, they're both that.
Because
Oh,
if you're
douches.
friends, if you're a friend of somebody, how dare you do that?
Yeah.
You know, and if
Doesn't matter for
And
and if you want someone to marry you, like how long do you have to sue to do that?
They have the fun ticket.
That's as low as it gets. But that just shows you how skewed sometimes people are. It's just like, if you want to have fun, just stay single and have fun. You know, don't get married. Don't play with somebody else's feelings. Yeah, be honest.
I don't like when people use that excuse, like, it was just the heat of the moment. It's like, come on.
Oh, boy,
You can
no.
Think about it.
It was
You're
not the heat of the
ridiculous.
moment.
Like, it's.
Put your
That's like
boy
that.
cans on and put your what in your pants and
Yeah.
hold it. And then I'd rather want a guy, like, if you want to cheat on me, I'd rather want a guy who's like, hey, things are working out, we need to break up, I'm finding other women attractive, like, like,
Be real.
Yeah.
be real with me, we
Straight
break
up.
up, yeah, I'm gonna be heartbroken, I'm gonna be mad, but I appreciate that more than you doing it behind my back, me finding out, and then, saying that. I always say that to every guy I'm with in a relationship. I'm like, if you ever feel that way, just be honest with me.
I'm very straight up. I will tell you exactly how I feel. I feel like that's the best way to
You are, which is really good. That's
the best way to go at it.
Yeah, but as friends, sometimes I don't know what it is. I don't know if they sometimes like it really depends how involved do you feel in the relationship, or like I even feel like they kind of feel like bad about the other person because it's like what is like, why are you not being honest? That's the whole thing I don't understand. Like, instead of hurting another person, let's just have a shot. And that person will cry for a day maybe, and it will last 2 weeks max. But it's kind of like, just be real, because the damage that you can do, it's like insane.
I think there's also a beautiful yet tough thing called self-control. And I'm gonna refer to kink because I end up sweet.
break the ice.
I'm gonna refer to kink because if I know that I'm in a diet and I'm trying to avoid sweets, why the heck am I gonna put myself in a situation where I'm in a bakery surrounded by cakes? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, but you know what? Let me know.
but the
agree
reason why
because
I give that example, the reason why I give that example is because if I know that I'm having problems with my partner, right? Why am I gonna go to a bar, to a place with my girlfriends by myself, where I'm literally putting myself in a situation to get preyed on? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I just feel like nowadays, it might sound bad, but it's reality. We're gonna be real here, right? That being very real. So
She's very honest.
I feel like some girls nowadays have a lack of moral and values, and sometimes, we have men in the room, but sometimes I feel like they don't even have to go out there and look for anything. We're just like giving ourselves away like we're cupcakes, you know, since you're referring to so to me, it's like insane to see a woman like acknowledge, oh yeah, I know you have a relationship, and why? She's not gonna find out. So, you know, I've seen that, I've experienced that, not myself, maybe not in that specific way, but you know, but friends, and you know, so it's kind of like sometimes this is a talk for women too. Like, you gotta give yourself your place. Respect is like something that it's like earned. And it's not like, oh, I'm gonna respect you just because you're a woman and, you know, come from one or whatever.
Yeah.
So men sometimes are not looking for anything, and girls are out there like, vanilla.
Right, exactly. But that's when the man has to say, okay, even if I'm not having problems with my wife, with my girlfriend, with the girl that I'm into, is this something that I really want to do? And then that's where the self-control comes in, because hey, for a guy, I think, tell me what you think, tell me if I'm wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a guy in the room. Should we bring him in to give his opinion? Should we?
You know,
I think you have to be a man to really.
Yeah, you have to be a man. You either tell the girl, hey, this is not working out, and then you can go proceed. As confused as you may leave a girl, at least you went ahead and you told her. You were a man, and you did not let temptation get in the way of, oh my God, it's just so bad because I have this wonderful girl. No, maybe you messed up, but you went ahead and you told her. And then you went ahead and you had freaky time with whoever approached you, or whatever the case may be.
And then,
Or you can say, you know what, thank you for your approach, but I'm talking to someone. Or I'm married, or I'm engaged, or I don't know.
Sorry, but we. You know?
Yes. A lot of men will not say what you just said right now. Like, very few men will say what you just said right now.
But I think it also has to be that moral compass, honestly.
I'm gonna be devil's advocate again. So I don't want to say all men are like this.
Right.
Okay, Randy's in the room. He's not like that. But we've been in relationships with guys that aren't like that. Mm-hmm. But we've also been in a relationship with men that are like that. You know, I think everybody at one point has had at least one guy cheat on them, or one woman cheat on them. I feel like that is the most common story in relationships that you hear. Why did you break up? It was a toxic relationship. Why was it toxic? Outside of everything else, they're cheaters. Usually, you know, cheating comes with narcissistic personalities, and you know, and a lot of things where it's like a lot of people do that sometimes because they're not getting what they want in their relationship. But it's true what Flo says. Why are you putting yourself in situations? You know,
especially if you guys just got into an argument.
If you got into
or if things are rocky and you were still trying to think.
A relationship requires two people, right? It's a lot easier to just be like, now this is different than if you don't feel it anymore. If you have feelings for the person, it's completely different. Mm-hmm. And you want to fight and you want to be with them. But if you're not feeling it, okay, let's step out. Choose you. Your happiness is first. But if you really care about this person and love them, then it requires you to collaborate with them and actually put forth the work. Yeah. It's not going to happen overnight. Nobody has a perfect relationship. If anybody tells you they have a perfect relationship, that is BS, and forgive my language. Bullshit. Anybody can tell me there's no perfect relationship. It is work. Relationships are work. You have the honeymoon stage, but it is work.
I think also like being mature.
Yeah.
That plays like a big role in this whole thing. And it's not very mature.
You're crazy for sure.
Crazier.
That you wouldn't know at this age.
Everybody has done something they regret, and I'm not gonna ask what you have done that you regret because I'm not gonna say mine either. Like, how about done something we regret?
Not make that public. But yeah, I think it's about that too. Like having a relationship with someone that's mature enough to really know what they want in their life, and then that's key. Because even like, you know, we have this cupcake out there, you know, I'm super used to
Great cupcakes though.
Great cupcakes, you guys. But we have the fruit cupcakes, we have the cakes, we have the, you know, the bakeries. And, you know, even if you put yourself in those situations and you have many cupcakes to choose and pick from, if you're someone that knows what you want 100%, I'm pretty sure you, at that point, you would not even like vanilla. But you know,
dude, I also think, and this is just something that I've noticed in society today, that right now we're doing it as a sport. Oh, how many can you pull?
Oh, how much can you do?
And how many this?
I can't.
But let's also not put all men in that margin, right? Because I definitely believe in CLB, aka those certified lover boys, aka that chivalry is not that. Where did you get this from? Drake is no.
Drake is your dating
Drake is not my, first of all. Drake is not my. I did not know Drake gave love advice. No. CLB has an album, okay. Album called CLB, like the Charlie Lover, well, Certified Lover Boy. I was gonna be like Charlie. Actually, no. Certified Lover Boy.
Okay.
And I definitely do believe that chivalry is not dead.
In
some aspects. I don't believe it's dead, period. That it's tougher to see nowadays? Yes, because of society and what the world is trying to say is yes, and what the world is trying to show us is right. However you side on that, that's on you. But I definitely believe that chivalry is very much alive. It's just much more harder to find. That doesn't mean that it's impossible. And the reason why I believe that is because that's God's original intention. And I believe in God. So if you're going to tell me that chivalry is dead, then you're telling me that God's dead. And I don't believe that. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. That's how I like to think about it.
Okay, I learned something you have never
Me neither. But I respect your viewpoint, and I think I agree to certain aspects, and I'm more with Arlety on this, where I do think a lot of it also has to do how you were brought up, your education, your morals, your values, how that is in you, where you grew up, your environment. I do think those things affect chivalry and a lot of things in life. So that's why I agree with you when you say in some aspects.
I also think because of the internet and social media, like on Instagram, a guy can send the same message, the same DM to 30 girls.
There will be one girl.
It's a lot. There will be easier nowadays
to
do things.
And those are the guys who don't know what they want. Those are the guys who are just looking for a lower thing. They're just,
Or they're whatever.
these are the boys we need to avoid.
A lot of times, but guys are empty. Or not just guys, there's women that are empty too. And that comes, with finding yourself over time. And I'm not going to sit here and be your therapist because nothing
No, I think with women, and feel like women, when they do that, it's because maybe they're lonely to some extent. Like sometimes women, when you're in a long relationship and you get out of it, sometimes you lose yourself and you don't know. It's like you are with that person for so long that like everything that is about you is really about them too. And you don't feel like your own person. And then when you're home alone and nobody's writing you and you're like, you're getting lonely. And I feel like you start writing people, but you don't need it, you're just doing it because you're lonely.
Loneliness is
It's really tough, I feel.
It's a real thing.
We can get real deep here, but I just think that the way that you're brought up and those psychological traumas that you have in your family and that you have experienced as a kid and see as a teenager, that affects the way you see relationships, you look for relationships. 100% do relation. So it's a lot of like you have to do a lot of like self analyzation, for sure. It's really
self-realization,
and like really analyze yourself and like look very, very deep inside of you, and that's comes with like being mature. Girls do not date before 25, thanks.
Listen to your parents.
I mean, no, sorry, do not get in relationships. You just go on dates, live your life, be fun.
Find what you really want.
But then when you're 25, make sure that the guy you're getting like, very serious with is like around 30, because, still gonna be complicated.
But I was gonna say something, like, we could honestly be on this topic forever. But I want to wrap it up. And just before we go, I want each of you to give a piece of dating advice to whoever's listening to this. Whether it be one guy and girl, give one to women and give one to men.
So 2 advice.
Yeah, give 2 advices. Quick and to the point. What do you advise women and what do you advise men to do in terms of relationships?
For women, I would say not to avoid the red flags. I feel like we do that all the time. You're talking to someone, you see the red flags, but you kind of ignore them because you really love something else about that person, and you let the red flags go and you ignore it. Then one day that red flag is a really big ass red flag on your face. That's when it went, for the girls. For the guys, it has to do with everything we talked about. For sure, find a girl you really love, and not just settling for going through the list of girls and seeing who answers, and that's the girl you pick because she answered you. Like, really try to, like, find a connection with that special girl. Yeah. For the guys.
I love you too, but I'm not ready yet. And here's an order.
Let Sofia go if you're not ready.
No, I'm not ready.
Oh,
We're following the order. I have 2 pieces of advice. I think that's how you were saying, because I don't know if advice is a word. I think it's advice, right? To be honest, but I was like, advice.
advices and guys. Well, advice is, but it's in a different context. I was very important to me.
Advice. And then, turn it to the dreams God. So, I know what you said. Don't paint the red flags white. That's super, super true. And then 2 pieces of advice. Number 1, I would say to both men and women, no means no. So, no, I don't want to sleep with you. No, I don't want to stay with you. No, I'm not interested. Thank you. No means no. No, I don't like that. This is what I prefer. This is what I want. This is how I think it should be. What do you think? I think being open to that and not being scared to say no or not being scared to say yes, right? And feeling safe with that answer, I think is very, very important to both men and women. Because it's not just women. Sometimes it's men too that need to say, no, I don't think you should do this. No, I don't think we should do that. Okay, yes, I think we should do this. Yes, I love that. You know, I think that's something that we need to remind people, because sometimes we try to just be moved by what society thinks or what we think society wants us to think and behave. No means no. Yes means yes. Don't be scared to say either one. Just make sure that it comes from the heart. And I think that's the first one. And the second piece of dating advice that I would give is take your time to meet that person, because if this is something that you really want to pursue, because I'm all about pursue personally, I love to be pursued. I love it when a guy takes the time to really get to know me and not just tell me that I'm pretty and that's it. And as a model, you're always gonna hear, damn, you look good. Like backstage, we're all complimenting each other, and yeah, when we get comments on social media, we like it, but where's the substance, you know? So don't be scared to take your time with someone, because like you were saying, it's like you're gonna get to meet them and you're gonna see, like, you like this person, or is it just a picture or the idea of the potential that I would like for this person to have? Because sometimes it's not even the potential that the person has, is what we would like for their potential to, you know. So that's my 2 pieces of advice.
That was really good.
And so God, that whoever God has for you in the right time, you know, come to pass.
So what do I say? I mean,
Hanging down.
Yeah, Juan Pedro Juan. Goodbye.
no, but like this like for men and women, like for both, you know, if you feel identified with this, go ahead. I feel like if you're not ready, you're not ready. And by starting a relationship when you're not ready, knowing that you're not ready, that's when we hurt people. Sometimes it's okay to take time for yourself, to get to know people just for the sake of it, to have fun. And then when you're really 100% ready to commit to a relationship or a person, then take that step. Otherwise, you're just gonna hurt yourself and someone else in the, you know, in the process. And for my little girls like me, just make sure that you love yourself above everything and anything. And it's really important to put yourself first and your mental health, your well-being, because sometimes we forget that and we try to put other people before us at first, and that's when you get really hurt. So dating, it's complicated, but it can be fun. You know, I guess. I mean, I'm not a dating person, but been lucky enough to like just getting a date. But I know dating it's hard out there now, even more than ever. So just remember to love yourself.
Yeah. So to sum it up, I think straight up, be honest. Just be honest with your partner. Be honest with yourself and what it is that you want. This goes for both men and women. Just see it that simple. People are afraid to be honest about their feelings and with themselves, and I think it starts with that. And believe me, and it's like what you said, when you realize that you worked so many more mistakes.
Yes.
A lot more mistakes that you wish would stay in the past. if you're young, you're gonna thank me for this. So what Arlety said, leave the flags behind. Flo said, you know, what did you say?
She said a lot, but basically no means no.
No
guys.
means
Yes.
no. There you go. No means no.
Thank you.
And then I think my favorite point that Sofia said is self-love. I think that is so important.
Yeah.
I think we forget to love ourselves and to really, and something else that you said, let's bring it back. Be pursued. Pursue, get to know that person. There's value in that. There's a lot of value in that. And I think we have 4 different personalities in this room, but together it is a lot of fun. Thank you so much everyone for tuning in. I had a blast with my girls. I hope you tuned in and hopefully you got something good out of this, you know.
Let us know in the
You better.
Let us know.
So are we gonna like and subscribe? Is it down below?
We're gonna try up above.
We're gonna leave it right here in the middle. Make sure to tune in for the next time.
Make sure to tune in for the next time, and I'm excited to have them back. They're definitely gonna come back, one way or another. They have been forced to be here. Some of them more than others, but I hope you learned something, and see you next time. And honestly, kidding.
Yeah.